They bring colour and class to the catwalk, introducing new styles and trends. The eccentric Dries Van Noten, the exciting Gian Battisti Valley, the glamorous Versace, outrageous and daring Alexander McQueen, and Fendi, the luxurious and fabulous Italian fashion house. His culturally diverse style has made Dries Van Noten one of the most successful designers to come out of Belgium. Born in Antwerp to a family of tailors, Van Noten enrolled at the city's prestigious fashion academy in 1977. He graduated and began his career when he launched his own label and presented his first menswear collection in London as part of the Antwerp 6 collective. As his name began to grow, so too did demand for his product. His debut collection of men's shirts was bought by Barney's in New York, a store that still stocks his merchandise now. In 1992, the avant-garde designer showed his menswear collection in Paris. His womenswear line followed a year later. Van Noten's designs continued to win him a notable following among fashion pundits, and his 1994 collection saw shabby masculine jackets, long wrap skirts, and rumpled crepe and bathrobe coats in drab black, brown or grey. Van Noten is perhaps the most accessible Belgian designer, but his theory of fashion is far from conventional. He prefers to design collections item by item, offering his clients a sense of individuality rather than slavishly creating a collection around one silhouette. Despite his enormous success, Van Noten continues to live and work in his hometown. The edgy designer marries rustic quilted cotton coats with richly patterned kimono silk pareuls and wool kaftans with gold embroidered scarves. The Dries Van Noten brand does not offer haute couture. All of its designs are ready to wear and available at retail. I'm a little naive, but I don't like the idea of showing things that you don't sell in a store and that can't be worn, Van Noten has said. His collections are both simple and sophisticated, and at the same time incorporating classical elements into contemporary designs is one of Van Noten's trademarks. Known for his imaginative shows, Van Noten began the renewed trend for animal print with his menswear Winter 2006 collection presented in Paris. Quietly elegant clothes lifted by the prince were the order of the day, with the designer wanting to get back to menswear basics. Models appeared on the catwalk beneath a canopy of upturned umbrellas, another statement of elegant menswear simplicity. The animal graphics appeared on scarves, coat linings, shirts and sweaters. Raincoats and jackets bore the boldest prints, but always continued the theme of masculine grace.
This season I wanted to be kind of more like a contrast between the dream and the reality. After all these years of doing embellishment.
His 2008 collections were eclectic and inspiring, and he drew praise for his bohemian collection of richly coloured furs and wispy silk dresses in multicolored patterns. Silk, chiffon, bold colour and references to traditional Chinese costume and Peruvian knitting all featured in the folk-inspired collection.
It's really something for now, but by using all the skills like bias cut, plissé soleil.
His designs are loved by fashion risk-takers, and Australian actresses Cate Blanchett and Nicole Kidman are two in Hollywood known for their red carpet success. Van Noten designed Blanchett's 2008 Oscar gown especially for the pregnant star, and Kidman was seen in his designs to promote her film Australia. For a long time, he's been focusing his energy on producing some of the industry's boldest and most innovative works, and is now one of the industry's most celebrated talents. In the cutting-edge world of modern fashion design, it seems most designers work harder at building their names into multi-million-dollar brands than they do at designing great clothes, with the exception of Dries Van Noten. Italian designer Gian Battisti is a relatively new name to watch in the fashion world, but even so, with his edgy and glamorous designs, he already has a very impressive name. Born in the 1960s and growing up in Rome, Valli's early influences were the attractive movie icons from all across the world. By the 80s, he was focusing on fashion and studying at Rome's School of Art, which was then followed by fashion training at the European Design Institute and an illustration degree which he completed at London's Central St Martin's. His first break in fashion was planning couture shows in Rome, but then proceeded on to work for Roman designer Roberto Capucci in a public relations role, which led to a promotion to the design team. It was here he learnt about volume and colour. Valli moved on to Italian fashion house Fendi as a senior designer, and by the mid to late 1990s had been introduced to expert designer Emanuele Ungaro, who in 1997 named Valli head designer of his ready-to-wear lines, ultimately promoting him to creative director of Ungaro's ready-to-wear. In 2001, as the house celebrated 35 years in made-to-measure, its Spring-Summer 2002 ready-to-wear collection was the first one left entirely to the inspiration of Ungaro's creative director, Valli. Valli's creations were truthful to the brand's tradition of vibrant colours and prints, whose sensual designs seduce the female form. In 2002, Valli delved into a cultural treasure trove at his ready-to-wear collection for Emanuele Ungaro that blended Russian, Moroccan and Oriental influences for a rich gypsy look. He seemed to have moved away from the exuberantly feminine image of the label, with sheepskin hooded coats and waistcoats that were paired with boyish matching peaked caps. At this time, having been the creative director of Ungaro's ready-to-wear division for 18 months, Valli had worked to give the label a more streetwise edge, although he's most successful when sticking to the tried and tested Ungaro ingredients of Grecian-style draping and romantic floral patterns. In the years to follow, Valli's ready-to-wear collections for the house of Emanuele Ungaro were very feminine. Models paraded outfits that were inspired by sea themes and often clad in several layers of chiffon in algae green floor shades and anemone purple and deep sea turquoise. Valli showed impeccable outfits ranging from a mousseline silk caftan with white frayed thread worn over pleated skirts with white frills, to silk printed dresses and gauze cotton shirts printed with red Chinese flowers. Tweed jackets were embellished with ruffles and corset boning that gave them an 18th century feel. The evening dresses, however, were resolutely modern, with skirts split to the thigh under figure-hugging corset tops. Halter-neck dresses that dissolved into a cascade of chiffon ruffles are also adored by his celebrity fan base, and Valli's celebrity clientele is vast. Fashion icons such as Victoria Beckham, who looks stylish in her short black Gian Battisti dress, and actress Charlize Theron, who was absolutely stunning in her Valli gown at the opening ceremony of the Moscow International Film Festival, are both fans. Valli eventually began his own collection in 2005 after Ungaro no longer required his services. He presented original shapes with bouffant dresses and ample suits, while also including very feminine long strapless designs. His more recent collections have added a touch of femininity to the colour palette, with bows and ruffles decorating sleeves, shoulders and waists, and features mostly black and beige knee-length skirts and dresses with either flared bottoms or pencil straight lines. Models also poured onto the runway in white and neutral-coloured floor-length dresses that appear to almost be wedding gowns. With his many influences, Valli creates femininity with an edge, and in doing so he has managed to attract not just a loyal following and fan base, but has also started a trend among celebrities who are now known as Valli's girls. With cutting-edge designs and glamorous high-end fashions, Italian label Versace is the leader of international luxury brands. The Versace fashion label was founded by one of the most celebrated designers the world has seen, Gianni Versace. Born in the industrial town of Reggio di Calabria in southern Italy, Gianni has been named one of the most innovative and creative designers in the world. He started designing clothes when he was 22 years old, when a local garment maker hired him to design a collection that was sold in his mother's store. The first Versace boutique was opened in Milan's Via della Spiga in 1978, and its popularity was immediate. His 1982 collection introduced metallic garments that would become his trademark, and his elaborate stage costumes for musician and entertainer Elton John in the late 80s helped cement his reputation. His distinctive styles, materials and designs changed fashion forever, and now Versace is one of the world's leading international fashion houses. However, in 1997, Gianni was gunned down outside his oceanfront mansion in Miami, and 10 years later, the city of Milan commemorated Gianni on the anniversary with a series of events in his memory. The fashion house is now run by members of the Versace family, with Gianni's brother Santo holding 30% of the stock market assets, Donatella with 20%, and Donatella's daughter, Gianni's niece Allegra, inheriting 50%, which she inherited on her 18th birthday. Donatella, following in her brother's footsteps, is now the chief designer of Versace. With teams of designers and stylists, each dedicated to various Versace lines, Donatella guides and oversees the collections. She pursued fashion the same way Gianni did, but had planned to work for him in public relations. However, she became Gianni's muse and, with the help of her brother, began her own fashion career. During the 1980s, Gianni dedicated his newly created perfume Blonde to her and gave her her own Versace label, Versace. Donatella is usually known for being a flamboyant designer who uses high-profile celebrities in her campaigns, but every now and then she tones it down with elegant, preppy designs for her younger Versace line and glamorous looks for the signature label. She is famous for her red carpet frocks, which showed at her Spring-Summer 2009 collection. It was full of dresses that wouldn't look out of place on a celebrity at an awards show or premiere, with the heart being a key motif on her gowns, appearing as large embellishments on the neck of some dresses, as a ruffle, or in the pattern of a zip. Guests to her catwalk shows often feature longtime fans and A-list celebrities such as actress Catherine Zeta-Jones. But Versace does have many fans, and most of them are all well-known celebrities, such as Hilary Swank, who was gorgeous in a one-shoulder version of a black Versace gown. Desperate housewife Eva Longoria was top-to-toe in Versace when she was in Cannes as one of L'Oreal's ambassadors, and that wasn't the only Versace outfit planned for her trip. And Sarah Jessica Parker wore a glittering beige corsage-shaped Versace dress to her Sex and the City premiere in Berlin.
It didn't take me long to pick this. No, it's a Versace made it for me for tonight, specifically for Berlin.
Renowned for her star-studded life, the famed designer joined her celebrity fans and friends at the Whitney Museum of America's Art Gala to celebrate the museum's past, present and future. The event attracted stars like Patrick Dempsey and Christina Ricci, all dressed, of course, in Versace. In 2008, the Fashion Group International honored Donatella at its 25th annual Night of Stars, honoring the alchemists in New York, with Jennifer Lopez presenting Versace's award. The Versace label isn't just all about fabulous designs, luxurious clothing, accessories, fragrances, and all the other various brands of the Versace group. It's also about star power and image, which has made it unique among Italian fashion houses. With his provocative shows and outrageous designs, Alexander McQueen has solidified his reputation as the edgy bad boy of fashion. The designer's mix of controversy, creativity and technical mastery has earned him several British Designer of the Year awards and a loyal celebrity fan base made up of the most beautiful and glamorous women in the world. McQueen's first taste of the fashion world came when he joined Anderson & Shepherd, a highly regarded tailor on London's fashionable Savile Row. He enlisted as a student at Central St Martin's College of Art and Design, and after graduating, his complete student portfolio was purchased by influential fashion legend Isabella Blow. She remained his patron and great friend until her death in 2007. McQueen started his own fashion label in 1996 and became an instant star in the fashion industry. He was chosen as Britain's Designer of the Year thanks to his inventive designs, like low-waisted pants known as bumsters, and was soon snapped up by Givenchy as their head designer. The designer and the fashion house weren't well suited, with McQueen insulting company founder Hubert de Givenchy, calling him irrelevant. It became clear the fashion house was at odds with his dashing designs. In late 2000, McQueen entered into a partnership with Gucci as its new fashion director, subsequently leaving Givenchy behind in the process. Alexander McQueen's early runway collections developed his reputation for controversy and shock tactics, earning the title Enfant Terrible and the hooligan of English fashion. McQueen is notorious for the theatrical catwalk shows he uses to display clothes designed under his own name label. The master showman wowed the audiences at London Fashion Week in 1999, presenting his collection in a winter wonderland featuring fake snow and models on skates. Black, grey and various whiter shades of pale dominated McQueen's palette, adding to the winter woodland feel. His edgy designs have been seen on some of the world's most glamorous women. Sarah Jessica Parker wore one of his creations to the UK premiere of Sex and the City, while Jennifer Connelly, Mary J. Blige and Oscar winner Cate Blanchett are also fans of the controversial designer. He opened his Melrose Avenue boutique, home to fellow designers Marc Jacobs and Balenciaga, in 2008, which was attended by longtime McQueen fans Janet Jackson and Eve. The store showcased the designer's collections, including the limited edition Union Jack clutch bags, as well as women's and men's accessories, shoes and eyewear. McQueen turned his 2007 Paris Haute Couture show into a tribute to his mentor, the eccentric Isabella Blow, who died after a long battle with cancer. The air hung heavy with the scent of fracas, Blow's favourite perfume, and models paraded in her signature look of radical tailoring paired with outlandish Philip Treacy hats. The show included mind-blowing headgear, a cluster of red butterflies that topped a skin-tight grey wool dress, and a glittering black lace visor with a matching body tattoo. 2008 saw the British designer give evolution a helping hand, unveiling a radical silhouette, combining hourglass hips with androgynously slim legs. Padding underlaid his thigh-grazing moulded dresses, which were heavily encrusted with mineral-looking crystals that sparkled like a million stars. Having been obsessed with fashion for virtually his entire life, McQueen has made a fortune by making men and women look good. To put his success into perspective, he's had his own fashion label since the age of 27, and his collections are available in almost 40 countries worldwide. Alexander McQueen is arguably today's most relevant and successful designer. Italian fashion house Fendi is known for its unique and sometimes edgy designs, consisting of their trademark materials leather and fur, and today is a luxury goods brand. Originating in the early 1900s with Adele Casagrande, who opened a leather and fur goods store in Rome, the business growth and name change to Fendi came along in 1925 when Adele married Edoardo Fendi. With their business thriving, Fendi was able to open new stores and saw the couple's 5 daughters all working for the firm. In the 1960s, German designer Karl Lagerfeld, who is widely cited as one of the most influential fashion designers of the late 20th century, joined the Fendi team and created the iconic double F logo, which can now be seen on many Fendi products such as handbags, shoes, and of course clothing. Lagerfeld revolutionized Fendi clothing with his use of furs and leather, and for his first ready-to-wear collection he showed techniques and original designs, using lower-priced furs while still giving the same high-end quality. In 1999, the 5 sisters sold Fendi to LVMH for a staggering amount, but that didn't stop Lagerfeld from bedazzling audiences with his fashion shows for the Fendi company. Fendi's Autumn-Winter 2003-2004 collection proved opulent. Overgarments were taken off to reveal little leather skirts, plain tops and long leather boots. Coats of fur, mink, rabbit and fox were mixed with skins of bison and crocodile leather. The Roman furrier turned out a collection of lazy elegance for winter 2004, with narrow skirts hanging low off the hips, silk shirts unbuttoned low, and above all, fur gilis, jackets and coats, worn with a nonchalance that belied their cost. In 2007, the House of Fendi brought glitter and glamour to one of the world's best-known fortresses, the Great Wall of China. Billed as the first ever luxury fashion runway show on the Great Wall of China, the show consisted of 80 models from around the world in the latest fashions marching down the battlements. Many were amazed to be working with the House of Fendi on what was suddenly the biggest runway in the world.
The Great Wall, it's a kind of natural runway in the middle of the nature. Maybe it's a little bit long, but it's like when you are a fashion designer, you think that's the place where I want to be. It's normal to be here.
For the designers, the show was a breathtaking first in a historic setting, but it also symbolized the rapid pace of change that China is going through as it develops. For Fendi's summer collections, the label saw Lagerfeld make use of the simple circle. This most perfect of forms became a collar, a sleeve or a hemline, as well as decorating tops, dresses and flowing skirts in printed or embroidered concentric rings. And overall, the look was very 1950s. In 1994, Silvia Venturini Fendi was given creative control of handbag design and found success with the now famous baguette handbag. At Paris Fashion Week in 2008, and to mark the opening of Fendi's new Paris flagship store on Avenue Montaigne, a celebrity-laden audience was in attendance, which included names like Claudia Schiffer, who in her earlier years of modelling strode down the catwalk for Fendi, and Sofia Coppola, both of course wearing Fendi. But Fendi's designs have been seen on many well-known celebrities, such as actress Kate Beckinsale, who was dressed in a black Fendi gown and gold belt while attending the premiere of her film, and actress Hayden Panettiere posed for photographers while wearing Fendi pants. Having been in the fashion business for almost 100 years, Fendi, also one of the best-known brands for the baguette handbag, is one of the top fashion houses in the world and one of the supreme in Italy. And if it's leather or fur you're wanting, Fendi is the place to get it.